Hi guys, I'm Hayden Crawford from Dreamtime Academy and welcome to today's live Starseed Numerology Insights. You've caught me. Fantastic. Today I'm going to be revealing more about you that's based around your date of birth. So the three planes of existence: mental, emotional and physical. So we can tell so much from your date of birth. It's actually your soul's choice when you decide to incarnate on the planet. From that information, I can work out exactly where your soul originated from after it left source consciousness, based around the position of your sun at the time that you were born. Now, I am going to be revealing not only what's happening for you emotionally, so sensitive, intuitive, and independent, and the center of your feeling plane, but also mentally with your creativity, your imagination, your analysis and your wisdom, and physically as well, not only through verbal self-expression, but also through practicality and grounding and physicality and materialism. So there's a lot of information that we can draw from your date of birth. So first things first, all you need to do is to jot your birth date down in the comments section and I can start the process off. So hopefully I'll get through a few of you today. Now, I'm also going to be revealing some insights as well through my Starseed Oracle deck. And I'm actually going to be showing you 4 bottles today as well, 4 different colored bottles. And I want you to choose one of those 4 bottles. And I'm going to be giving you some insights as to maybe what your blockages are to stop you from living the life of your dreams. How does that sound? Good? Excellent. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to pick out a card from my Starseed Oracle. Okay, so are you watching carefully? Good. Okay, so I'm going to just tune into these cards and I'm going to pick out one which I think is going to be most relevant for you if you're watching this right now. All right, so this is the card. Are you ready? Ooh, this one. Okay, so it's called the Great Severing and it's Mars energy. Now, Mars is fire. And in the color mirrors system, which is this secret ancient color therapy system that I work with, the Mars bottle is red and orange together. Now, it often relates to anger or suppressed anger, frustration or resentment. So it could be that there's some sort of conflict going on within your life at the moment, or even, you're going through a process where you're actually softening to more love within your life. And actually, that's what we have to do. Anger is often just a mask to grief or sadness that sits within the heart. And we can play out, our anger dramas and push everybody else away from us in our life, when really what we want to do is open our hearts and invite them back in. So that's just something to bear in mind. So if you have been feeling angry recently and you found it difficult to control, it's often because you're not opening up and allowing people in. Okay, maybe because you've been hurt. Okay, so I'm also going to show you 4 bottles now. So I want you to have a look at these 4 bottles and I want you to tell me which one is most relevant to you. Which one do you feel that you're connecting with more right now? Okay, so this is the first one. This is the Blue Angel. Okay, so is it this one? Is it this one? This one is called Bliss, Mrs. Orange. Okay, here's your third one. And this is Rose Pink. Okay, are you watching? Rose Pink. And the fourth and final one here is Yellow. This is the Yellow Angel. Okay, so which one of those are you most connecting to right now? So just leave your answers in the comments section. And then what I'll do is I'll come back to those and I'll reveal some insights about maybe where you're a little bit blocked within your life and maybe some areas that need some improvement. Okay. Now, I'm also going to be offering you some more insights today because I don't know about you, but I'm an Andromedan starseed. Okay, so my soul originates from a constellation called Andromeda, which is 2.5 million light years away from here. Now, the Andromedan starseeds are here to help people to learn to love themselves again unconditionally and others, and also to find value within themselves as well. So self-confidence and self-worth. But also, I'm here to help you to feel more freedom by helping you to rediscover your inner wisdom so that you can live a life with more joy and purpose. Okay, so Ram says number 1 definitely this morning. Nice to see you, Ram. How are you going? Okay, so bottle number 1 was the Blue Angel. Okay, so stress too high for you. Okay, so often, when it comes up, It's a feeling that you're not being heard. So blue is the color of the throat chakra, and it can often mean that you just feel like for some reason you're second best or you're not being heard in some way. It can symbolize nightmares in children. So if children are attracted to blue, it's often because they are struggling at night time and they're getting maybe old soul memories re-emerging or playing out parts of their subconscious patterns during the night, where maybe they're trying to process trauma or shock, or where they feel abused in some way. Also, it's about a lack of communication and a lack of peace as well. So if you've been feeling a bit discombobulated recently, it's potentially because you are experiencing some stress that's creating issues with not only your sleep, but also this feeling of not having enough inner peace. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'll tell you what, one thing's for sure. We definitely are living through difficult times at the moment, aren't we? Not only with COVID, but, with everything changing around us, not being able to travel, being shut down. I think a lot of the time when we experience things like this, it can make us feel really displaced and feeling quite teary as well. Now, blue is the color that can help you to overcome tears and sadness as well. So your stress is about right for now, is it? Yeah. Okay. So what, stress levels fairly good, or that you're feeling stressed at the moment? How is it going for you? Do you feel like you're not being heard? Do you feel second best in some way as well? It's a really beautiful essence, this one, actually, because the blue angel, when you spray it around you, it smells a little bit like the inside of a hospital. So if you can imagine just spraying some blue angel around, okay, and then breathing that in. And it's almost like quite antiseptic. It smells a bit like germaline. So what it does, it's straight away, it takes you into a place of calm, of balance, of inner peace. Okay. Now I'm going to pick out another card for you today, Ram, as well, because obviously if you've been feeling a little bit like that at the moment, then what I'd like you to do is to give you some more advice and guidance coming through from the Oracle cards. Okay, so it says that you've got to use your artistic and creative talents, okay? So it's about creative accountability and manifesting using your creativity. Art and color are fantastic tools to be able to help us overcome feelings where we are distressed or, going through some sort of inner turmoil. And I teach a process within one of the programs that I run called art therapy. It's actually a program called Your True Colors. And it takes you through a process over 12 weeks of using art therapy to process emotions and release outdated beliefs and subconscious patterns that are keeping you set in a vicious cycle. Okay, so Ram says, it's on another level. I went unheard for a while, but had experience last night. Right, okay. Oh, hi, Tammy, how are you? So someone let me know I've been heard by the right person. Oh, well, that's good news then, isn't it? So what was that all about then? So how have you been heard? How do you feel like you've been heard? Do you feel like you've been able to express yourself, which is always a good sign, really? So how are you today, Tammy? Are you feeling good? Shall I pick a card for you today? Oh, your grandfather visited. Fantastic. Was that in spirit? Yeah. Okay, so this one's for you, Tammy, and it says you're not for everyone. Okay, it's about embracing your weirdness. Okay, and facing your true north as well. So, at the end of the day, you've got to be at peace with yourself. Not everybody's going to like you. A lot of people in life will judge you based around their own preconceived ideas on what they think people should behave like. But at the end of the day, you're your own person. So just make sure that you always be yourself, okay? Some will like you, some won't. So Tammy's saying it's been a long week. You feel drained and a tad defeated as well. Look, I'm going to show you the same 4 bottles that I've just shown Ram. Okay, so this is the first one, which is the Blue Angel. The second one here, which is called Bliss, which is orange. The third one, which is Rose Pink. Okay, which is Rose Pink. And the fourth one, which is called the Yellow Angel. Now, which one of those, Tammy, most relates to you and how you feel right now, okay? Because we'll look at maybe what it is that's making you feel drained and a tad defeated as well. What sort of things have been happening for you this week that have made you feel like that? Often when we feel defeated, it's because we are either A, allowing other people to drain our energy, or B, we're not stepping into our own power, or we're listening to our internal dialogue, which is trying to keep us small. Remember, we've got two minds, a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And often we've got a negative inner chatterbox in our conscious mind that will try and keep us stuck. And often it's because we are yet to make a decision. Most stress in life is caused by not making a decision about something. So when you've made a decision, often the stress goes away and the energy returns. So what aren't you making a decision about? So yes, it was weird. I caught him near my guitar. So that card is right for me. Fantastic. Hello, 1111 Togetherness. It's lovely to see you. How are you today? Now, 1111 is an appropriate number for this moment in time because we are being channeled at the moment through our Orion star family. Being in the month of May, we are in a universal month cycle 1. And also, we are in a universal year cycle 5. So what we do is we add the 5 and the 5 together. So the 5 from May and the 5 from 2021, and it creates 10. You reduce that down to a 1. And the 1 relates to the sun in the color mirror system, which is yellow. It's the solar plexus. The Orions govern the solar plexus chakra. Okay, I'm getting the link there. So what we're seeing at the moment is lots of repetitions of the numbers 1111. Okay. I'm really good, thank you. Yeah. So 11 is the number of the ascended, one of the ascended masters that actually relates to the light bringer from heaven to earth, and often is in association with Sandalphon, Archangel Sandalphon, which was Metatron's brother. So Tammy, you've chosen the blue bottle as well. So this is like your stress levels are too high. So you need to make a decision about something, okay? It's maybe you're not feeling heard, you're feeling second best, or you're not at peace in some way. So what I would say to you is maybe there is something that you need to do. Make a decision and see how things shift for you. There you go. So Terry says, yes, she sees 1111 and 111 a lot. And you will do, especially this month. Now, 1111 togetherers. I'd like you to, 1111 together as one. I think that's what it's supposed to say, isn't it? If you'd like to leave your date of birth, I'm offering free Starseed Numerology insights today on today's show. So leave your date of birth in the comments section and I'll have a look at your Starseed Numerology and see what's going on for you. And from there, I can tell what your strengths and weaknesses are. I can tell what your personality blueprint is, the best times for you to embark on new projects and ventures as well. So it's super exciting. So 1111 together as one. So I went through my awakening last year and it was 1111 that really changed my mind. Absolutely. It's one of the first things that I observed when I went through my initial awakening was back when I was 16 years old. And I'd met a woman in the northeast of England called Margaret, and she had taken me to a rebirthing session. And she used to talk about the 1111 a lot back then and how it related to the ascension and our ascension from third dimension to 5D, and how we were becoming light bodies and how we were stepping into our golden authentic power. So when I kept on seeing 1111 everywhere, it started making a lot of sense. And, you know, years went by after that, and I think I fell asleep for a while, and then I woke up for a while. And then when I was in my early 40s, I had my big midlife awakening, which was when I left the corporate world. I moved house and I went down south and reinvented myself and started learning more deeply about color therapy, numerology, and all other forms of energy healing. And from there, the Dreamtime Academy was born. So often when we see these numbers, they're an indication that it's time for us to act upon our guidance, our inner guidance, and our external signs as well. So you're seeing these numbers for a reason, okay? Just remember that you're seeing them for a reason. And the reason is because your angels and guides are wanting you to step forward and step up and do the work and be of assistance to people around you. Because there are a lot of people out there that are struggling. They're struggling quite a lot. They're finding it very, very difficult. very difficult, in fact, to be able to get their head above water and to feel joy. And of course, that's where the ascension really starts. The ascension starts with us feeling joy. All right. So I'm glad that you're going through this awakening. You've been through this awakening, and just allow it to unfold organically. Don't try and force it. It will just get easier over time. Okay. Brilliant. All right, so I'm going to offer you some Starseed Numerology insights. So if you want to leave your date of birth on there, then what I'll do is I will come back to my board and I'll have a look at that for you as well. Now, the other thing that I've got today is my Australian bushfowl cards as well. Now, these are beautiful. Now, this was one of the first things that I started learning when I left the corporate world. I used to work in IT recruitment for about 15 years, and I was getting so bored with just doing the same old stuff and just making money, and had no value or meaning for me. So I started learning all about the Australian bush flowers, which are these beautiful native Australian cards. So you've got some beautiful ones there, you know, like the freshwater mangrove and, you know, the beautiful Southern Cross. So once you understand that nature speaks to us through the doctrine of signatures and is actually here to help us to heal as well, using its color and its numerology within the amount of petals that it's got and its texture and its scent, we can often find solutions from within to all of our ailments. Okay. So I'm going to pick out a card for you. This one's called the Red Grevillea. The Red Grevillea, as you can see, it looks like a hand that's grasping onto something. Now, red in color therapy is about survival, safety, security. So the Red Grevillea is given to people who are trying to hold on to something and they feel stuck. Okay, they're holding on to the past and they're gripping on too tightly, and they need to become more independent. They need to be more bold and brave, and they need to leave stuck situations. So the flower speaks to us a bit like a cat would speak to us in pantomime, and it says, okay, you're feeling stuck. Here's a remedy that will help unstuck you. Okay, so if that's made sense for you, then that is a beautiful remedy to be able to utilize if you live in Australia. If you live in Europe, you're better off using things like the Bach flower essences. The Bach flower essences are very, very good for anybody living in Europe. We tend to resonate with the flowers of the country that we cohabitate. Okay, does that make sense? Now, have you got any questions for me or any queries, anything that's going on in your mind right now? Anything at all? Ram says it's too many synchronicities. Still got giggles, and God knows why. Normally resort to pastry during stress, but seems to have chosen laughter. That's good. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have a a cake or a pie, isn't it? As a way to be able to overcome shock and trauma or feeling, down in the dumps. But it's not going to do us any good ultimately. A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips, and all of that sort of stuff. So often, if we turn to our inner strengths and look for the lighter part of every situation, we can either choose seriousness or we can choose joy and fun. And sometimes just by pivoting in the moment that we're feeling like we are going on a downward spiral and just going, no, I choose not that. I choose to go a different way is enough to be able to get you out of that perpetual loop of doom and gloom. And no one wants to be around people who feel down in the dumps, do they? Let's face it. We've all got one relative in our family, haven't we, that is a pain in the ass to be around because all they do is talk about themselves. All they do is moan and groan, and all they do is complain about the things in their life. Well, one sure way of getting out of that is to express gratitude. Be grateful and appreciative of all of the blessings in your life. Look at the people in your life that you love. Look at where you live. Look at the fact that you've got your health. Look at the fresh air that you breathe, the nice food that you get to eat, the television that you get to watch, the holidays that you can look forward to. Look at all of those things instead. And when you do that, it changes the anatomy of your brain. And all of a sudden, you start seeing more of the things that you want. It's law. It's called the law of attraction. But you've also got to be in the law of allowance as well. There you go. So I've got one of the said relatives that I had to cut ties with for reasons. Yeah. Absolutely. And don't be afraid to cut ties with relatives that are a bit of a pain in the bottom. You don't have to have these people in your life. It's your choice at the end of the day. If somebody's draining you that much, cut them off. And then who knows, things may change in the future. And I'm going to pick out another card for you now as well. Here's one more card for you. And this one is the bush iris. The bush iris. Can you see that? Fantastic. The bush iris. Now, this one is the perfect flower for rebalancing your pineal gland, okay, which is your crown chakra, actually. And it regulates the amount of light that comes in. So it deepens your spirituality, and it also helps you to accept death, okay? It is very good for being able to help you feel that sort of connection as well, because the crown chakra is our connection to the heavens. And violet in color therapy is very much about spirit. So it helps you to connect to spirit, and it decalcifies the pineal gland as well. So it's a really great way if you're looking to improve your connections and your insights and your inspirations as well. They're really beautiful, these. They're very gentle. And what you do is you'd put 7 drops underneath your tongue twice a day, once in the morning and then last thing at night. Okay. And that's when your brainwave is in alpha. And it needs to be in that because then you're more inclined to absorb the remedy and make the necessary changes. Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed that today. I've had fun. I don't know about you. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye for now.